Caught me mid-drink.
Lex says,
did I time that wrong?
Lex has timing down perfectly.
Hey, welcome. I'm Lex.
I'm Shane.
We're the PDQ.com.
Good to see everybody, and by that, good to be seen, I suppose, since I don't see you.
So, things you didn't know you could do with PDQ. It's kind of the subject today.
Okay.
So, should we jump in, man?
No. Let's go ahead and talk about robes.
We'll talk about other things, robes and
do the stuff. Let's just relive the pre-show.
Relieve the pre-show. Yeah, okay. Relieve the pre-show by moving on. All right, first thing, I just want to make sure we're going to take you through some really basic stuff here. Okay, things you can do with the install step. I don't know how many customers I talk to that just think they can do EXEs and MSIs. Guys, you can do obviously MSIs, MSUs, EXEs, batch files, PowerShell scripts. The one that I just did this morning I thought was kind of cool is a reg edit. Right, now let's just pop that bad boy open so we can actually see what
In fact, this works on the free version too, people.
It does. It does. Now, let's see, installs. Boom, there it is. So
look at all those. Yeah, if you select the reg and then you select that reg and then go actually to the, I'll let you. There's your reg.
There it is. File. Kick butt equals 1, and we're going to put that in HK local machine software admin arsenal.
But if you go to the main screen there after you select that reg file.
All right here?
Yeah, because, and then highlight the command line. You can see, based off of the file type on the target machine, PDQ deploys is going to run regedit with a /s, which means you're going to run this silently and import a reg file. And that's how we know it. If you were to use the VB script, then we're going to run C script. If you're going to run EXE, we run the EXE. If you're in a batch file, we're going to run CMD.
Speaking of, I've got the flashback to the 90s Visual Basic script there. Did you ever write any of that?
Yeah.
You still got it?
Long time ago.
You still got any of it?
Probably.
See, I do. I still have a bunch of mine.
But it's going to be on an old archive.
Yeah. Anyway, so you guys can do that, and just remember, the nice thing, like Shane said, is by the extension, it is going to change what gets run.
Now, yeah, and a lot of times I think people will click that custom and then modify that. That is to be used so sparingly.
Absolutely.
There's only a few use cases where you'll need that, where you need to actually click on the custom. And that is when, like if you choose an MSI, we automatically throw some parameters in there.
Let's go grab one.
Yeah, let's go ahead and grab an MSI. So we automatically throw a couple of the common parameters in there. You'll see MSI exec. The /i pretty much needed. That's telling the MSI exec which file we're actually, which install file we're doing. But let's say that you needed the all users to be 2, or you needed to omit it. That is the only time in a case like this where you need to click custom, because once you click custom, notice that parameters field above. Highlight that's now grayed out. Anything that you put in there before, and if you put something in there before, it's not going to be used. This is not to be messed with. Only when you need to change something that comes in the box.
Absolutely. All right.
Oh, I've missed Alexa's absolutely.
I actually somebody counted how many times I said it.
I hear it from phone a friend, but now being in such close proximity with scotch near to hand, it's nice to hear it again.
Scotch near to hand, my friend. Here you go. Boom.
Rock on.
Okay.
Coffee and scotch.
Hey, and Shane?
Yes.
Get your buttocks over to the
end
go that way, of the couch. There you go.
That little red X.
What do you mean, there you go? I hadn't moved yet.
You pointed.
I didn't point at all.
Oh, maybe Lex did.
Okay, is that better?
That's much better.
And
that
was
way
it doesn't look like you're sitting on my lap,
cutting off a shoulder or something?
You're not spooning Lex now, so that's good.
We'll save that for later, man.
That's why you tune into the pre-show, folks. Why do you go to the pre-show? Spooning mostly.
Spooning with Lex. All right, let's talk about creating everybody asks a lot about, I want to get a list of unapproved software.
Yeah.
Okay. So the way we're going to do this, and we've done this before, and it's really popular. I'm going to do it again for you. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to build a variable. Okay, so you go up here, and we will build a variable, and we're going to call it good apps. We'll just call this apps. Okay. Now we're going to build what is a regular expression.
Okay.
Now, if I go in and type this, we will be here all day and most of probably the weekend.
You're going to do a paste?
Yes. but I'm going to show you how to do this to make your
When
life
did you
easy.
learn how to paste?
I took remedial computing the other day. Okay, this is how you do this, right?
All right.
Just go build a new basic report.
Okay.
You're going to go in here. You don't really need to name it. I really don't care to name it. And I'm just going to go pull all the application names, right? And run it that way. Then I'm going to save that file. And I already did this, but I'm going to do it again. We'll just put it on the desktop called apps CSV.
Okay.
Okay. And go ahead and replace it. So this is now, I can get rid of this. We're going to work with the apps CSV. I'm going to open this with Notepad++ because it's got a replace filter, right?
Yeah, I love Notepad++.
Yeah, me too. All right, so there it takes a second to open up. Yeah, okay, boom. There it is. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to start removing stuff that I think is not necessary because we're going to keep the good apps. We're going to remove what we consider.
So effectively what you're doing is you're creating a whitelist.
That is exactly what I'm doing. So, again, and I'm not going to do this overly. Now, I'm just going to keep, now here's the thing, right? When you do regular expressions, you can't have any pluses and minuses and spaces. It's going to mess it up. So I'm going to stick with probably vendors for the most part. So we'll just do a few of these to get the idea, guys. Audacity's gone. Auto hotkey, I hate that.
Okay.
Black Magic's gone. We'll keep Bluebeam, right? Now,
Bluebeam actually is a really good reader. I
do like it.
just tell you it's a huge install and it's expensive, but as far as a reader and writer, it's pretty good.
Okay, so to give you an idea of this, right, we'll just do a few more of these, right? FileZilla's okay on my network.
All right.
And we only need one of them, right? FileZilla. And then we'll say anything by Google's okay. Google Drive, Google Chrome.
Okay.
So
you want to just take that as it stands so we're not here editing this whole time?
I'm going to get rid of Google like that. All that but Google. And then I'm just going to probably ditch everything except for stuff by Microsoft, okay? Just to give you guys an idea.
So create your whitelist, basically.
Yep, create your whitelist, okay? Again, I'm checking for any really bad characters that might be in here. Now, I'm going to do that Control F for, and I'm going to hit replace. Now, what I'm looking for is that carriage return, right? So, what is it? Backslash N backslash R. And then we're going to put a plus on that. Okay, and we're going to replace it with a pipe. And we're going to do a regular expression. If I do this right, here it goes. Replace all.
8 occurrences, okay.
There we go. So now I've got my line separated by that or, right? That's
So
what
yeah,
that pipe is.
the pipe in regular expression is or.
And now I'm just going to go paste that into my really super cool variables. One called apps, which is already open right there. Boom. Apps. Paste. Okay. Now, we just build a report using that variable, and then it becomes really easy to update that. So
Just make sure the report uses regular expressions because the value of that variable is stored as a regular expression, right?
Correct. So we want computer, we want application, right? We'll go on our filter. Our filter, there's where we're going to use this. We're going to do that application name. Now, if that's the whitelist and we're building a bad report or a report of stuff that isn't in there, we're going to does not match, and then we'll grab our custom apps. Okay, we'll call this
Approved. Okay.
this is-
I'm sorry, yeah, the unapproved.
bad apps, and then we will run that report, and there is everything that is not on that list. Now, again, let's say I needed to go add anything by NVIDIA, right? So I could just go back in here to my variables, and let's see if I can actually spell NVIDIA. What do you think, man? Think I can do it?
Oh, I think I believe in you.
You believe in me?
That's cute.
Oh, man, I can't even.
I just got busted. I just got called out. I can't lie. Hit end. Don't you know where the end button is?
Not on this keyboard, man. Otherwise, I would have used it.
Sean, I'm sure it's there. It's
Crap.
good
I thought it was
Lord.
Microsoft. Okay, pipe, and then NVIDIA. Right now, I want to show you something. I'm going to go in. I did not exit that, and if you go rerun this bad apps, NVIDIA is still going to be there because I did not exit the variable here. So just make sure you exit that.
Okay.
Okay, and then when you rerun it, it should eliminate any of the NVIDIA. There it is, gone.
Cool. Yeah, so it's obviously these variables for these whitelists or blacklists, whatever you want to maintain, they're kind of living. So you're going to need to go in there and prune them from time to time or add to them. So
There's a bit of work up front, but once you get it going on, it's a pretty easy thing to maintain.
And then what I've done in the past, not necessarily this way. I think this is what you've done is great. I've also created a list of absolute known bad ones, password crackers and stuff like that. That I will also just run separately, just to go out there and take a peek, and you're looking for something a little bit more targeted.
Yeah. All right. Now I want to show you guys something really cool. Check out this collection library we maintain for you. I'm sure you've all seen it. Check it out. Chrome latest, Chrome not installed, Chrome old. Don't you wish you could build collections like that easily?
Well, since I'm the one that built the original one, yeah.
Easily, right?
Talking about the royal you, gotcha.
We've actually, and this is out on GitHub. Jordan, you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm hoping my mark's working.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, we can hear you, buddy.
So talk to me, man. I'm going to bring it up. You're the one that wrote this bad boy.
All right, so what this is, we took XML, we exported one of those collections, I'm not sure specifically which one, and removed all specific information and replaced it with just a filler. And then this script will go through and will replace all of those in the appropriate areas with what you set. So if you're looking to do 6-zip, you'd set the name and the variable name and the version.
Well, let's do, instead of 6-zip, I've got VMware on tap. Now, guys, I typed this earlier because it was just ugly to see me type.
Yeah, I know. We'll take that. We'll take that as read. The fact that something is pre-done shouldn't remove the authenticity of it.
So here we go. We got the calling the create XML PS one variable name. We're going to do it VMware app, right? Application name VMware tools. If you have a space in there, quotes, right? Variable version name. That's our version variable, and then I put the version in here. Shut up, man. You're just gonna sit over there and giggle because I say stuff the same way differently.
So the variable version is the version of the variable.
Yeah. Well,
welcome to the tautological webcast.
Never use a large word where a diminutive one would do.
Okay.
All right. You hit enter on that.
Well done. Lex actually had a joke that landed.
Hit enter on that, and it's gonna actually build a XML for us to import, and it's in obviously auto collection on my desktop. So I'm going to go and import that.
Can Chase or somebody bring me a new receiver? This one is just
battery. You've been sitting on that thing, man?
No, I actually lifted it up and put it out here, but it keeps cutting out.
All right. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to import. I'm going to go, there it is, VMware tools on my desktop auto collection. Right. We import that now. It is going to import the variables. It's going to fill out the variables. Unless it does that. Submit to support. Okay.
Thank you, Chase.
I'm going to try that one more time, Shane.
All right, buddy.
You ready for this? We're going to go and import VMware Tools XML. There it is. Well, now it's in the wrong place, but I'm just going to drag it down to the bottom here.
Yeah, it's easy to drag and drop that. I didn't take a peek at that, but what's going to be cool is I say after this, let's go back and when we're done here, let's see exactly what happened and how to avoid that. If it was a user error. Or if
I'm sure it was a user error, but yeah. Anyway, so here we go. VMware Tools. I've got 40 machines that have VMware Tools. One has the latest version, 11.25. Back to our variables. It created right here. There's my VMware app, VMware Tools, and my VMware app version. Apparently, I have a VM version up here too that I used earlier. And then here it is, latest, not installed, and old. These are all the ones that need to be updated.
Always keep if you keep versions in your variables, always make sure they're updated. We do have. I know we've got users that because we have the latest Chrome or something out there, or the latest Adobe Reader. There are some admins that are like that latest version is not necessarily approved on my network until I've vetted it and made sure it's okay. So they will actually create custom variables with a version 1 or 2 versions behind, and then use that to determine the baseline and schedule your deployments based off of that one. So we put you in the driver's seat if you want that.
All right, just to show you guys, there's the variables being referenced here, and we also put them on the description line so you can see them up there. Should we hit a couple questions?
I would love that.
All right. Hey, Lex and Shane, is there a way to set up a deployment that runs when a computer is turned on or when a user logs in? Sincerely, the SS Scarcelli.
Hey,
Good ship.
good ship. All right, so let's say you wanted to install the almighty 7-zip when a machine turns on. You would highlight it, and let's say you want to do this once maybe. You would do a schedule, right? Now with your schedule, you're going to go into triggers and set what's called a heartbeat trigger.
This one does require inventory, by the way.
Yeah. So what that basically does is this. In inventory, when a machine is offline, let's see if I've got one that's offline. There we go. Chum, offline. You'll notice it says no right here. Okay. What it's going to do is this. We have a heartbeat that goes out, and our heartbeat is set in, it's all set in preferences, but if you go to preferences under network, here we go, 300 seconds. So basically every 5 minutes, we're going to ping the machines, see if they're on. If they're on, verify them against DNS and mark them online. Once they get marked online, inventory, then context.
So SS Corelli, if you use the heartbeat trigger and you have the default 5 minutes, if a machine is rebooted, or if a machine is turned off and back on before it gets pinged, there are times when a computer will, according to inventory, never look like it went offline. Yeah. But if it's offline, and there's a number of events or triggers that can cause it to be marked offline, it's basically only when inventory sees a machine go from offline to an online state, according to inventory, that heartbeat trigger is kicked off. So
yeah.
To answer, so you actually had two questions in there. Number one, you had when the computer is turned on. The other one is when a user logs on.
I think the right tool for that would be GPO, wouldn't it?
That's what I have used. We don't have a good way of doing that. But that is definitely something that a GPO is meant for, just a user level GPO at logon.
If you absolutely didn't want to use group policy, you could create a deployment that builds a scheduled task for logon that deletes at the end, where you can have the credentials to kick that off the deployment. But that's a lot of work, and you got to pass through the right computer name and everything.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
You got another question you want us to hit?
Sure, let's do it. Hey guys, do you have a way to report what machines failed a certain deployment? Sincerely, Jason A.
Hey, Jason. Now let's do this. I'm going to show you how to find data in inventory. So these would be your database tables down the left side as soon as that comes. Okay, right here, left side. Okay. If you look, there's deployments. Okay. These are all the deployments that have been successful. So we could go look for any failed deployment, and then you can also filter for a specific. So again, report-wise, I go in and say basic report, application name. We'll go to the deployment table. We'll put the deployment package name, and then we'll also add the deployment status, I believe it was. Status, there we go. And we will put the filter.
I like to always run a report before I start throwing in filters.
Do you?
Just to make sure that it's returning what I think it's returning.
Oh, okay.
Just a little nugget.
There's a failed right there. Penelope. All right, so now we can go add that filter. Computer deployment status. There, thank you. Contains failed. In your face, I spelled it right, man. There we go. So there's the two that have failed. Now you could also add a filter for a specific deployment.
Yeah, I think the question was a specific deployment. Now, obviously, you can see what failed in deploy. When you're talking about a specific deployment, making sure we're using the right nomenclature. When a deployment, you're not necessarily talking about a package, or you're not necessarily talking about a team, a bunch. You're talking about, I've just deployed, Microsoft Office to 100 computers. Which ones failed? Yes, you can also see that information in deploy.
Check this out. I grabbed a deployment. Apparently, there's a bunch of them. I'm going to group by the status here. So group by this column. So there's apparently all those are successful. Let's see if we got any of these that failed.
Go ahead and expand that so you can see. They can see that.
See that they've.
Since you're grouping.
There's the failed. Okay. So there's failed, right? If you were expand status, failed again.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
So that's another way to do it.
But while you're at it, show them how to reset that grouping. I love grouping. Grouping is one of the greatest things around. But if you just want to
ungroup, or you can click up top and say, yeah. All right, should we move on?
Colby points out that you can also highlight multiple deployments instead of just one at a time if you wanted to have a wider search with that.
Leave it to Colby.
Thank you, Colby. Instead of just the
single,
deployment. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Colbster.
Very good point. Very good point. So, custom field, Shane. Did you know? I know you know this. You can actually have your custom fields display in your main page up here.
That's right.
So if I didn't close, there we go, inventory. So here, right here, we've got name, online status. Let's go add a custom field here, or see if one's already in. Okay, we'll add it. New text. What should we call it?
I like to call it. You can call it like cost center. A lot of companies use cost centers. Which group does this belong to?
So once you save that you can access that in reports and collections and right here in the computer table.
Well, so let's go to
Cost center. Cost center. CO. I spelled it right once. I should be able to do it again, right?
yes, sir.
And then the other thing I like to do is hit fix to just pop that bad boy up to the top. There's that cost center. So
That's
now
if you
can
want
just
it. Yeah. Now, and to edit one or two.
Edit one
So
or
let's
two
put
of
what
this?
like marketing.
Okay.
So when you're talking about custom fields, often there's a one-time hit.
Okay.
There are imports that you can do, but yeah. So now we
There
have
is that import wizard. You need the computer name and then obviously cost, and you can map that in and bring that online.
But otherwise, if you're doing it one at a time, a lot of time is also like a date purchased. People will add a custom field and use a date value type, and then populate that when the computer comes in, and then they always can know that was the date that it was purchased or acquired, or you can have an expiration date or a warranty expiration date.
Did you notice, Shane? I updated those, and they have not updated the front page yet, or the marketing right there. How long does that usually take to refresh?
That would be about good. So go ahead and
A couple of minutes, or you can just
no. It should be automatically.
should be.
Yeah, we do a background refresh quite often.
So that will show up. I hit a refresh. There it is, marketing and IT. Just F5 that bad boy, and she came back in. So there you go.
There are certain, you know what, that might be one, because there are certain fields that will trigger, when they're changed, will trigger a refresh.
Yep.
And it could be that custom fields do not.
Yeah.
And again, custom fields rarely, I can see why not. Custom fields are rarely changed. It's a one-time hit, really. It's
True.
It's not like, custom fields are really for things that you can't grab or track in inventory, part of the scan, but you still want to track. Those generally aren't as dynamic as like applications or uptime, et cetera.
Yeah, true. Now, did you know, and I know you know this, we can actually change the icons for deployments. So we would come in here.
Appearance.
Thank you. Item appearance. I was right there. Boom. Now start the service VM tools. I don't know. That looks like a service VM.
I like to where I change them is mostly in inventory.
Do you
and
really?
It's where I'll create like specific. We'll go to inventory.
There we go. Let's go to our VMware. Okay, that guy.
Sure. Go ahead and
Under view,
appearance.
item appearance.
Now I might display as a section header as well, and that way it kind of stands out. These are for collections that you might want to see often, but also you can change the. Go ahead and collect it if you want.
All right, boom, and display section header.
Now go somewhere. Just click somewhere else. You'll see how it's always kind of got the highlight there. It's easy to find. I remember doing that a lot with. I would have collections for like test machines where I'd go across organizations or departments or cost centers and just pick one or two machines that get that are just like test. They're actually in production, but they know that they're going to, whoever owns that machine knows that they're going to get the latest version of Adobe, or they're going to get the latest version of this, whatever. Just so I can have a little test. I'll always have that set, those approved machines or test machines as a header, so I can quickly find them.
Should we have another question?
I'm down for whatever, dude.
Yeah, we have a bunch. In fact, here's a novel. Hey guys, anything in the works in terms of comparing PCs against each other so we can save time when trying to figure out what may or may not be missing from one PC to another? We get batches of the same PCs that require the same software and patches, but who is to say that everything is installed correctly? Sincerely, Frankie B.
Frankie B. I would do a SQL report on that. Now, if I were to have to do that right now, it would be ugly and it would take time. But that's where you would do that kind of a thing, comparison.
There's a couple of things you can do. You could create a report that shows, similar to what Lex was saying, you create a baseline report of these are the applications or something that you're supposed to have. Then you have a report that says, show me any machine that is
Doesn't have
missing
those.
or has anything extra. If you want to get into quick and dirty, you could also export those two to files and just do a diff.
The diff, yeah.
There's a number of ways. There's a number of ways to skin that one. I would probably do the fun SQL report.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colby has a module, PDQ stuff, that has a compare PDQ inventory computers.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
They can do that for you, or you could probably modify our variable we did for bad software, but basically said it has to have all
Has
the
to have
software
these.
installed, or else it will list the computer name.
Yeah.
So if you can see, if you're on the chat, was that Frank? Was that the name?
Yeah.
Go ahead and grab that. Thank you, Colby. As always, thank you, Colby.
Yeah. Should we do another question?
Yeah, we'll need to get a speed round here pretty
Should
soon.
we just should we hit the speed round?
Yeah, because
Okay.
they're stacking up.
All right, let's hit it.
All right. Hey, guys, can inventory show previous users who have logged into a workstation? We often need to search for where staffers have logged in, and it would be helpful if we could search previous user data. Thanks, RC Adlatano.
The way I would do it is I'd do a Wmi query and pull up user profiles on the machine.
That's awesome. You can do it from WMI. I've done it from a registry scanner before. I've also done it from actually a file scanner, but you have to kind of be careful with that because there's certain files that you're looking for. But WMI or registry, where you can go into the like in the registry, the user hive. I'll just let Lex type it since he's doing WMI. There are ways of doing this, yes. What you want to be careful of...
pre-built PowerShell scanner on their GitHub that will go through and find
you.
users.
Just
Nice.
grab that one.
Now, does that pull user profiles like I'm doing, dude?
It does not pull basically pulls users that have logged in and doesn't print off duplicates. So if they have logged in the machine within how far back your history goes, they will list them there.
Check it out. It's like I've done this before. Boom. Local path. So there you go. Select local path from Win32 user profile. Copy paste that. Boom. Give it an OK. And we'll call it user prof.
And of course, Colby's put. Thank you, Colby.
Colby's already got that up for everybody. They can grab that if they want. And then I'm just going to go run that scan, and we will have user profiles on everybody. Excellent. Couple ways to go that. What else we got?
All right, guys, we like to use collections and inventory that track if an application has updated ahead of the current version variable. This works fine where there is one version number, but the Firefox ESR variable is an expression. Is there a way to do the same thing for variables with an expression? Sincerely, B. Jaworski.
So I'm pulling up the latest version of Chrome, the variable.
Well, he's talking about Firefox ESR.
Oh, Firefox. Let me pull up Firefox. Yeah.
They're using the ESR. Which
Didn't you
means
do?
they're using-
You did a regular expression for Office, right? Because Office had. Let's pull that up. So just an example. So Office.
Or you can just look at. I want to look at that Firefox.
You wanna
ESR.
look at Firefox?
Well, I know we're in the speed round. We might need to put this one off into support so that for the sake.
So I just want to show this right here. Check that out. Regular expression right there. Copy that into a variable. So again, oh, there it is. Okay, right here. So you can put that into a variable and use it.
So I would say this. I would create really quick, just to be fast. I would create your own collection for Firefox ESR, and I would put the version that you want and not use an expression. And then with that, I would go down to your comparisons. I'd use your version comparisons and look and create a collection for anything with version greater than, and then just the version that you want. There's a version that you want greater than this. You're going to see those computers that have a later ESR. That's what I would do.
And just remember, use those version comparisons.
Or
like Shane
use the
said
version
right there.
comparisons. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad time.
Not going to have a great time. Cool.
Dear Shane and Lex, is there a way to do custom deployment reports? I'm looking for a CSV report with just the PC name, status, runtime, and error for the deployment. The full details report looks nice, but not easily filterable, as the headers are not on the same line when trying to open in CSV. Thanks, M. Howard.
Okay, so I'm not going to build a report for you, but I'm going to show you. If you go into auto reports, actually, let me just pop up the monthly applications that I already did. You can actually, in auto reports, select the report you want. Month, totally, wow, I must have typed this one. But check it out right here, comma separated value in the format, okay? So you can pump that out, anytime you want, trigger-wise, as a CSV specifically. And the nice thing is, we make it automated so you can do report name and date, so on and so forth. But yeah.
You can customize what you're looking for there. In this case, this requires inventory.
Yep.
If you're talking about a report based off of deployments of the emails and stuff like that, that'd be a different story.
What else we got?
Hey guys, can you please go over a Windows 10 deployment with booting to Pixie if possible? E. Larson.
Windows 10 deployment with booting to Pixie.
Nope.
You're
gonna want to. You're probably gonna want to use a different service for that.
So here's the thing about imaging, right? There are a lot of great imaging tools out there. There's MDT, WDS, there's Fog. We got videos on those. We don't lay down OS on bare metal.
We don't operate at that level.
Yeah. So once you get that done, a good baseline, we can kick that off. We got some great videos on that, and that's how I would go about that.
All right. Hey guys, when creating a dynamic group, how do you search for a null value? I'm trying to find all computers that do not have any value listed for a certain attribute. Thanks, Nathan C.
Is he talking about a dynamic collection, or is he talking about a group?
I would imagine it's probably a collection.
Like he's talking about a group in Active Directory, and then you're using that group as in a collection or a report. I'm not. I guess we can assume that he's talking about dynamic collection.
So, what is a null for a regular expression? You can do it that way, right? Is there?
You know what? Try doing. No, because it's going to.
Colby says leave it blank.
Leave it blank.
Yeah, but it's been a while because there was a time when leaving it blank actually populated everything. But try. You can just try it.
If I leave it blank, it will populate everything here.
Well, you already know that Buddy and Bugs Bunny have cost center in there. So
this is just computer name contains nothing. Okay, what would? Oh yeah. Okay, let's go to cost center. You're right. Cost center. Boom. All right. Blank.
Do equals.
Equals nothing.
Oh, we'll see.
Contains equals. Okay. Equals. There you go.
There you go. What do contains?
Contains.
Contains is pretty much just a star,
Yeah.
which will return 0. Just
Okay.
do equals.
Equals and leave it
Thanks,
blank.
Colby.
Thanks.
Hey Shane and Lex, in inventory, how can we add descriptions to our custom created tools? Thanks, Wendy F.
Let's go to tools.
Let's just go edit this.
In this case, I'd like to know what Colby can do it. I would.
Edit it to the name.
I've
here.
actually I'll usually use a open paren and then a description there.
Yeah. That's what I'd do it. Looks like the only place I can do it. So, what else we got?
But really quick, we should mark that as a description field. So we mark that as might want to put a description field for tools. I mean, we've got description fields for packages.
Yeah.
Here's kind of a shout out to Jordan. Really great blog about using PDQ to remediate Print Nightmare. Any plans for something similar for recent CVE nerd blah 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 remote code vulnerability prior to Patch Tuesday? Thanks guys. Keith K.
I'm punting over to you, Jordan. Do you know about that one?
This is the first time hearing about it, so I know what I'm going to be reading about after this.
Yeah, so when it comes to this stuff, folks, you can look at the previous, like what Jordan had, look at the previous examples of this and use it as a template. But when you're talking about wanting to know which machines have this. The goal is to find what footprint or what data would suggest that is installed or has been infected, whether it's a registry file, WMI, a file, and then build a scanner looking for that. And yeah, you're just going to do something that's custom without our help. We'll try to jump on that stuff, but if you're ahead of the curve, there's generally ways you can find that stuff.
All right, got a few more here in the speed round. Hey guys, I recently had a project come up and am setting up shared PC mode. I created a package to enable it via Windows Configuration Designer. WCD creates a PPKG file, and it seems like I just have to run it on the target computer. Does PDQ deploy support deploying Windows configuration packages? Austin's.
I don't know.
I've never tried it.
Anybody know? We got to take a drink to that one.
Yeah, I guess, okay, so if you just have to execute it on the machine, one, you could copy it out there and then run the on the machine as opposed to an install step. So, yeah, you could do it that way. I've never tried it.
It'd be very interesting. I don't know.
If it's already on the machine, as long as you could execute it with PowerShell or something, you could just go and say where the location is at and run it there.
Yep.
I don't know about silent parameters with that, though.
Yeah, as always, that can be the rub, right?
Yep.
I don't know. Well, let's make a note of that, folks, and maybe somebody on our support team can or
Have a
QA
better
can test
answer
it
than we
out,
have.
can test it out and see what it does.
Yeah.
New knowledge base forthcoming.
Dear Shane and Lex, if I make a schedule with Heartbeat only, it seems to just stop running after a week or so. I cannot figure this one out. Thanks, it.
Hey, clown guy. So here, all right, here's your schedule, right? So it takes about a week or so, and every machine actually runs it. You need to make sure you go to options and say, take this off if you want it to continually run.
Yeah, I was going to say that was probably what it is.
Yeah.
Stop deploying targets once they succeed. When you have recurring packages in a schedule that you need to run, and it's not installing software, like in this case, you're running something to see if a computer is online or you want to reboot.
Some type of
you need
maintenance.
to, turn that off, because once it runs once on a machine, it's not going to run again with
It
that
gets
other
recorded
one's
in target history. Yeah.
Correct. So go to options and uncheck that. That's most likely the problem. If that is not the problem, Pennywise, then you're going to then contact us. Maybe give us some more information at support@pdq.com.
Yep.
Hey guys, is there a way to create a report of Windows roles and features enabled to identify FTP, IIS, web servers, failover clusters, servers, etc., net inbox? Or, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, we have Windows features listed as options if you go to report, a basic report.
Okay. I'm going to pull up the machine. Can we go see where it is here? Where would it be here?
Buddy, yeah, scroll on down.
Windows features.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here is the table you look in.
Click on the let's click on the corner. Let's customize this.
Okay.
Add the name. There can be some duplication there, but say okay.
I want it first.
Oh, do you?
Now say okay.
All right. So yeah, I mean, here's where this is where you can look for the Windows features and components, and this is it's going to be calling Windows features in a report as well. So if you want to do this from a report, not a collection, then the same thing.
Right there.
All right, here we go again. Is there a way to link several scan tasks into one scan task? I keep making standalone tasks I'd also like to include in the standard or other tasks, but have to recreate everything in each one. If there is not, have or can it be considered? Craig M.
So we could, let's just take a look at the application scan. You can go add on an Active Directory scan here. We could go add the user, well, do we got user profile scans? No. How would we make, I guess we have to go.
User profile is going to have to be custom to
WMI.
registry, WMI.
Hey, that brings up something else. I wonder if I can copy it from one scanner to another. I've never tried that. Should we try that? Let's go do that. We will go grab our user profile scan, and we'll copy this, And then we'll go to our applications because we really want to get all the user profiles during the applications. Works better if you're in inventory. Applications, paste.
Colby's recommended
Yeah,
strongly
yeah.
you don't do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it like that either, but you can. Don't drive 100 in the school zone, but you can. Shut up. You guys all think that.
So is he talking about scan profiles that he wants to run at the same time?
like, I guess these are all scanned tasks, right? Want them to all, I mean,
is that what you think he's talking about? Because
just,
So if you look at the chat, Colby looks like has something with his module that does this. He says the reason it doesn't work is he has to tie together the database, and he has a script that does that.
okay.
In his PDQ stuff, it's connect-PDQ inventory scanner.
don't go.
Because you can create, if you have different scan profiles, you can create schedules based off of triggers to have those run, and
Yeah,
it will
that's
run
true.
all of them, every time. But that's when you do that in the creating the scan profile. But look at
Yeah.
Colby, what Colpster's done.
All right, 3 questions remaining in the speed round. Gentlemen, is there a way to set up automated weekly reports without the result embedded and not attached as CFE or PDF in email?
Silence.
Not attached. You could write it to a UNC path. That's what I like to do. So you notice here.
He's wanting it in email, just like in like the text in the body of the email. He doesn't want to.
Okay, but without it embedded, I mean, I guess you
Is there a
could,
way to set up automated weekly report without the result embedded and not attached? Oh, how do you want it?
I mean, here's the thing. I always do it to a UNC path because I get too many emails anyways. So that's one way to get it without having it embedded in an email. Otherwise,
to
that's
me,
how
I
do it.
would ask Nedim, so how exactly do you want this? There's a number of ways you can get it. And like Lex is saying is a way that I've done by throwing it out on a file share somewhere. But
Yeah.
I would need to follow up on that one.
All right. 2 remaining. Not sure what this one means. Mapping drives with PDQ, not popping on Explorer. Leonardo T.
Aren't map drives on a user level?
Yeah, they're usually at user level. So if you map a drive in PDQ, if you map a drive in PDQ, most likely it's being mapped as the deploy user.
Yeah.
And a person that's logged, so Lex is logged on as Lex, and I map a drive during a deployment in the deploy user Shane. Lex isn't going to see it.
Yep.
You could map a drive if you want. You could map a drive as the current user. There are ways of doing that, obviously, in your deployment, and then you just say only run this if somebody's logged on.
Yeah.
But what the hell was that?
That was my watch hitting the desk.
Well done. Oh, and by the way, Net Inbox said yes, embedded for that last question.
Oh, okay. So I thought it said not embedded and okay.
It did say that, but
But he's clarified.
yeah.
Okay.
Clarified. I'm not sure. I have to play with that. I definitely have to play with that.
Okay.
Support might need to.
The idea seems popular in chat as well.
Cool. Well, who's marking that down? To take that.
Jordan's got it all.
Jordan, do you?
It's all up here. Yeah, my first thought was if you put it in UNC path, like I was saying, you could import that and create with PowerShell, embed it in that way, but then you're adding a lot of complexity.
Yeah.
And we have a final question of the day. Dear Shane, how long is the beard now? Frank B.
Hey.
Frank B.
I haven't measured it. I honestly have not. I haven't measured this thing forever.
Do we have a ruler? Do we have a ruler?
Yeah, bring out.
We can measure it in bathrobe
Chase, do we have a
lengths.
tape measure?
I would just say it's about that long.
If
I
we
mean,
do, Kelly, it'd be in the drawer right next to your leg.
Let's see.
If we don't, then it's back up in Mark's office.
Oh, he's got it.
Hey, look at that.
Okay, it's time.
It's longer than a bottle. It's longer than a bottle of water.
How many ounces?
I'm
16?
going to go for a good guess and say 22 inches, folks. Let's get some guesses
But
before
you're
we
gonna-
get it in.
You're going to have to. I mean, there's a lot of waves. So if you want to, the true one, you have to pull it.
right,
we'll
here
give
we
it a
go.
little
Where do you
tug.
start?
Yeah, I don't
do
know
it
where
from
do
the
you
lip?
start.
Do you do it
Do
from
you
the
do
chin?
from the lip?
I have no idea.
I think, yeah, from the
Okay,
ear,
so right
I would say
there,
from the ear, yeah.
because that's where it
13 and a
starts.
half inches.
From the lip.
What about from the top of the sideburn?
Yeah. All right, well,
Technicality. Wow.
Rock on.
it's over a foot long.
It's a foot long sub. Come on in. You're probably going to
Cold
find
cut
some
combo, yeah.
ingredients from previous sandwiches that I've consumed in there.
Before we sign off, I just want to say on the collection script that we went over earlier,
Yeah.
there was a fifth parameter for software that puts their version number in the name. So if it's something like 7-zip, you have to call that out. Otherwise, it's going to throw errors when you import it.
Good to know. Good to know. I know you told me that, but I wanted to neglect that. Thank you for bringing that up.
I wanted to neglect information for the sake of our users.
Yep. Just wanted to
Cool.
keep it real.
It's good. It's good to be on here again with you, man. And I hope, hey Jordan, I hope you feel better soon, brother.
Absolutely been fun, man. But hey, thank you guys for watching. I'm Lex
I'm Shane.
with PDQ.com.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. Congratulations, Jason E. and Frank B. Winners of PDQ swag. Send us your info at webcast@pdq.com. If you have additional questions, please reach out to our support forums. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you back here next week.